sorry. Went for a walk, put together desk.
Yeah, your afternoon has been very filled with stuff.
Went to the movies.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll talk about that one since it's new. We don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Should you have taken a nap?
I was busy
You
dealing
keep
with
yawning.
stuff. I'm tired. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning for some reason.
I assume my sound's okay.
Yeah, I listened to you when you were mumbling to yourself earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. No, it's a busy week. Finals are over. Graduation's tomorrow. We're recording here on Friday because you're traveling this weekend.
Yep, I get to go celebrate Mia's first birthday.
There's yesterday, technically.
Technically.
But the party's, not a big deal. I'm just
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to confuse her early in life.
She doesn't know, right?
She's one. She'll do what I do at birthday parties. She'll be happy for about a half hour, then take a nap.
Well, I mean, you're 40 and you don't remember anybody's birthday.
I remember Mia's yesterday. I know Mia's.
Pretty sure the only reason you know yours is because you've had to rattle it off so many times over the last year and a half.
Yeah, tell me about it. No, I got mine down. I got Mia's. I got Molly's. I most of the time have yours.
Doing better than my mom.
That's about it.
She finally has it down pat.
I got your mother's.
Well, that one's pretty easy.
Yeah, that one. That one is a never forget for a whole different reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was good. And then on Monday will be a year since they put organs inside my body.
Replaced an organ inside your body. You had organs inside your body.
No.
Were you a robot? Were you a robot before? You didn't tell me.
Do I have to tell you? Like if I'm a
You were a
cop?
robot? Yeah.
You got to tell me.
You gotta tell me if you're a cop.
And a robot. Or I'm robot cop and then I'm RoboCop.
Okay.
Hey, you led us down this path. It's
Yeah,
your fault.
I know. It's my fault. Sorry.
So, that's the week. I don't know what else you said you wanted to, you had your list and stuff, and I because I think it is important to go through. It's just a lot of the components of your list I was asleep for.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna do a retrospective of last year at this time.
It was that week. This week last year
Yes.
was like, wow.
Okay. Use your words.
Well, it was like, I was looking at it earlier, and that's what I was calculating when you yelled at me for what was I doing?
Okay. I didn't know. You were texting people during the movie.
Because people kept texting me. 7 months and 1 day
Okay.
from the day you were admitted initially.
Which admission?
The initial one.
Conemaugh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The initial one at the end of September of 22.
Okay.
7 months and 1 day from then into your transplant.
Nice.
Like,
That was fast.
that is unheard of.
Yeah. Because I was very sick.
Yeah. Further compounding the unheard of.
Yeah.
4 days from officially getting placed on the list
To surgery.
to your surgery.
Yeah.
The day we got the call that you were on the officially on the transplant list
That was Tuesday.
was the day Mia was born.
Yes. Mia's birthday.
So that was a big day. And I laugh about it now. Because we weren't like, do we go see Mom and I? Do we go see her? We don't want to intrude. Lynn's like, hey, come whenever.
Yeah, at that point, she's just, I don't know if it was the drugs or whatever. She's all freewheeling up there. And
She's like, "Hey, come whenever." And I don't know how much of it was her just assuming that at some point I wouldn't have that option
yeah.
or what. But
And at the same time, I'm pushing you to go too.
yeah.
Because you're fighting the instinct. What if they call? And
Yeah.
you're up in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I'm trekking by myself.
And you literally said to me, "It's the first week. What are the chances they're going to call?"
Yes. I often tell this story to people who like to know because this is the complete it's not a worst case scenario, but the hardest pivot point. Because I keep insisting to you, go. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And through circumstances, you can only go Friday.
Well, we had planned to go. We left Friday morning. We had planned to stay overnight. Well, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. Mom and I had packed a change of clothes intending on staying overnight.
Yeah.
Even if it was just a matter of like, stay over just to not have the 8 hours total in a car, or, if there was anything we could do to help them, like help with the house or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that Dad was really on board with us with that.
Yeah. But that was the plan. But for whatever reason, it fell apart. And
yeah.
you guys had to come home Friday.
And so, yeah, we made the decision. We're like, let's just go home. We'll be in the way.
And then you got home late Friday. We wake up Saturday morning. This would be the 28th. And I remember talking to you.
The 29th?
The surgery. The surgery lasted into the 29th.
Okay.
Saturday was the 28th. Because you got up, I got up. I was hungry.
I don't think that's right.
I'm telling you.
I mean, I believe you, but I don't know.
No, you clearly don't if you're looking it up. I don't think that's right. And then you grab the phone.
Saturday was the 29th.
Saturday was the 29th?
Yes. The only reason I was thinking that is because Monday, that following Monday, I know was the 1st because it was the day that our peer review started at work.
I just want to point out, though, that you can't say I believe you after you said I don't think that's right and you grab your phone. That is not confidence inspiring at all.
Okay, but who is right? It doesn't matter. So we had woken up. We were up at what, like 7? Because we were gonna,
like normal.
We were gonna do something. I don't remember what it was, but we were gonna get up and do something.
Graduation.
We were gonna go. We were gonna get, whether it was we were gonna go to Home Depot or Lowe's to get something. We were doing something.
Yeah.
And
because I made a ham sandwich for breakfast, as
you do,
as most people do.
No, just you. You're the only person having a ham sandwich for breakfast, unless you throw an egg on it.
I didn't even get through the sandwich when they called.
It was not even 8 o'clock that morning.
Yeah, and it was the get down here.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about. The ultimate brain split that I had. Finally, maybe getting this handled.
Yeah.
Which by that means maybe won't immediately die. On the other hand, you were right. A hard choice.
Right? Which one do you accept?
Yeah, it has vexed me even to this day.
Well, and it was hard because we have heard stories from someone we know who went through this years ago and was like, the first call, a
couple of false alarms.
They're
even getting down to there and finding
like
out.
They got called on the way there. telling them don't bother. It's not viable. They got called, like they got there and were told, sorry, it's not viable.
Yeah.
So your plan in your head, I'm guessing,
Okay.
was I'm going to get there as fast as possible because they can't tell me no if I'm there.
What makes you think that?
Because a trip from here to Pittsburgh typically takes hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we were there in 45.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also early Saturday morning traffic, though, too. So we didn't deal with Parkway. We didn't deal with 22 wasn't bad. You know what I'm...
I agree.
Okay.
Still, that maybe would have cut like 15 minutes off.
Yeah.
Because on average, you get backed up 15 minutes just because the Parkway's backed up.
The tunnel.
Yeah, because people are scared to drive into the tunnel because they think it's going to eat them. It's not going to eat you. I promise. It's not going to eat you. Unless, of course, you're an idiot who's texting on your phone while you're driving. Then your car might try to eat somebody else's. So if you're the person in front of that person,
It's a year-old
maybe it
road rage rant.
That was...
And repetitive.
Yeah, that was last fall.
Yeah.
Anyway. But so we get down there. They're like, come to the ER. Okay.
By the way, which is completely unhelpful. Come to the ER. And it's like, where?
There's like 4 hospitals right there. Like,
Yeah,
which
and they're
one am I
rattling
coming
off
to?
the names of these buildings like I'm supposed to know.
Yeah.
Which honestly has made me better at giving tours and stuff, talking in directions on campus, realizing that, hey, go down past the Mirtha building doesn't mean anything to
People
anybody.
don't always know what the Mirtha building is. Right.
Yeah.
So then begins probably the third longest period of the day.
Oh, I forgot about the
Waiting.
ER waiting room.
Waiting in the ER waiting room. Because when we got there, they didn't initially...
beat the paperwork.
They didn't initially know... They didn't have any paperwork on you.
Because we beat it.
Because we beat it. So we're sitting there. And then finally someone comes over and you fill out the paperwork.
Yes.
But then it's waiting for a room to open up because they put you in like a pre-op room, like in a room for pre-op stuff where they do like blood work and stuff like that.
They did blood work. They checked vitals. They took me for a lung scan, I think, from there. It was some testing.
No, they did a chest x-ray.
Or chest X. Well, okay.
Yeah.
It was in the vicinity.
Yeah. I think they did a COVID test at that point too because you were hacking.
Yeah, because I had...
It was your morning mucus.
Yeah, and I had 25 or 30 pounds of toxin built up in my system.
Because you were literally like... I forget when... Anyway, you were scheduled to go for a draining at some point.
That would have worked out because I went that Friday.
Oh, that's right. You went
I went
like
the day before. So that's what made it actually work out fairly well because I felt good enough to get down there.
But
because I had been...
But so eventually we get up to a room. But because even once they had a room, then they had to get someone who could transport you to the room.
There was a lot of time spent trying to find somebody who could drive a wheelchair.
Like I could have done it, but I had no idea where I'm going.
Yeah. Could do it now, though.
Thus beginning the second longest part of the day.
That one wasn't bad, though, because we had a room. We had a television.
Well, but that was still the period where we were waiting on the
flight in.
Is it a go or not? Yeah. And keeping in mind that you made yourself a ham sandwich that I don't even remember if you ended up finishing after the phone call.
No, I got like a 2. They said don't eat anything, so I just literally put it on a plate in the refrigerator.
Yeah,
because I figured in case they say, "Hey, this isn't going to work," and we have to come home, at least you know what I have waiting for me:
a ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich.
But But thus begin that so the second longest part of the day, at least for me, was hearing you complain for hours
I don't like waiting. And I'm hungry.
that you were hungry.
It's those two things combined.
Yeah, it was those two things combined. Because it was well, we got there probably about like 9.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was like 3:30 where they're like, okay, we're going to take you down for like pre-op stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to head down. And so we get down there. Yeah, so they can do like the anesthesia and all that, blah, blah, blah. So we get down there. And meanwhile, like, still, this is the second time we've been in this hospital. I had no clue where we were going.
No.
And so we get down there. And they're about to wheel you in. Nor did I pay attention to what floor we were on, which will come into play in a minute. And you look at me. And you're like... Because my plan was I'm going to move the car because we had left it with valet at the ER.
At ER, because we didn't, yeah.
Because we didn't know ultimately we would end up at Montefiore. So I'm like, I'm going to go move the car over to the parking garage. So it's where I know it will be whenever I'm ready to leave, whatever. I'm going to call, make a reservation at the hotel, all this. And you're like, okay, go do that. Go get something to eat. But it better not be good.
Yeah.
And those were literally the last words you said to me.
Yes.
Before they wheeled you into the pre-op.
The potentially life-ending surgery.
You're like, I love you. Go get something to eat. It better not be good.
Yeah. It's on brand.
But I didn't want to leave. Let me tell you, not a lot of options on a Saturday in a hospital.
Oh, for food?
For food. Because till that point, I think they do have like a little like cafe, like a little like Starbucks thing that has like little things of like prepared food and stuff like that. Closed by that point on a Saturday. But anyway, so I go to move the car. And I don't even know if I've ever told you this. So I go to move the car. Again, not paying attention to what floor I was on. Because before, like right after they wheeled you in, one of the assistant surgeons, I don't know, that helped.
Okay.
He was the one that came and introduced himself. It wasn't Cruz. It was, I forget.
They all came through.
No. When we were upstairs even, he walked down with, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I go to him.
Is he listening? I don't think.
I go to him.
If you are, right into the show.
I go to him I asked him where the waiting room was. And he's like, oh, there's the family room right down the hall. And he points down the hall. Okay. So I go move the car. Again, not paying attention to what floor I was on when I got on the elevator. Because the elevators are weird there.
Yeah.
And I moved the car over to the parking garage. And when I come in, I think I know, or no, I stopped at because there was someone still sitting at the reception desk when you walk in Montefiore.
Okay.
And so I asked them, I'm like, my husband is getting a transplant. He's going into surgery. I went to move the car. I don't know what floor it's on. I don't know where
I'm now lost
to go to, whatever. So she told me to go to, I want to say the 6th floor. Okay, so I go to the 6th. It was either the 6th or the 4th. It was one off from where I needed to be. And I'm like walking around the halls trying to, because literally I got on the elevator right where he pointed down. It's right down there.
Yeah.
So I just walked
Wait. Before you finish that story, because this has been, you're probably only, about 20 minutes into this thing? Because when they wheeled me back there, I sat for about 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're wandering around lost.
Yeah.
Smash cut. Me doing shtick with the surgery team, complaining about the pirates, making just doing me while they're prepping me for surgery, telling jokes, doing my thing.
Well, no,
while
because you
you're
were so
wandering
excited.
around the.
You were so excited that day because it was a Pirates doubleheader.
Oh yeah, we watched both games. Well, we watched the first game, and then they left a note to tell me what happened the second game.
Yeah, the better game.
Yeah, the more interesting one, 13-0.
But anyway, so I eventually ran into like a cleaning lady or something, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking for this place, and she's like, yeah, you want to go to the 5th floor. So I go to the 5th floor, and there's like nothing. It's like there's like nobody in this room. Like it's just me by myself, and the TV's on. And I'm texting Mom. I'm like, I think I found the room. I don't know if I'm in the right place. Blah 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 blah. But I think it was probably like 6 then before they called my cell phone directly.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, okay, we're in the operating room. And like, it was one of the nurses or whatever in the operating room. Like, we're in the operating room. So we'll call every now and then to give you like major updates. Like, okay. So at least I knew I was in the right room.
Yeah. Well, no, they called your cell phone. You could have been at the
I think
Starbucks.
No. Okay. I think like
you could have been at home and gotten that
I think
update.
right before that happened, because I was texting Mom. I'm like, when I was texting Mom about like, I don't know if I'm in the right place or whatever, she's like, well, isn't there like a screen? Because when, I don't know, it must have been when Dad had something done. They had like at Wimber, they had a screen with
Somerset
like
with the order of what's going. Yeah,
the order. I'm like, there's no screen anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's this phone. She's like, well, pick it up, see what happens. Like, okay. So I did that, and I talked to the nice lady inside the transplant ICU.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I in the right place? She's like, yes, you're good. I'm like, okay. And eventually she came out at one point and like showed me where to go to get like, they have like a self checkout like
Snack bar.
Snack nook.
Nice.
They had like drinks and chips, and they had like even like little things of soup or whatever, but there wasn't a microwave, so I wasn't quite sure how I was supposed to heat that up.
Cold soup.
Anyway. And then I just sat there. It was the longest part of the day.
9 hours.
Yeah. And like I tried to read on my iPad a little bit, but that wasn't very distracting. So I did watch the Pirates game.
There you go.
And I was like texting updates.
Yeah, you were at Communication Central. You were sending out notes to everybody.
And like anytime they would call me with an update from the operating room,
yeah,
I would text Mom, your dad, Doug, who Doug was then in charge of Steve, Nick.
Tom.
Did I text Tom too?
I think so.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I kind of put like your dad was in charge of your grandparents and your sister, and Mom was in charge of Lynn and Aaron and Evan and Graham and all them. And then only because you told me to, I also posted updates on Facebook.
Well, people care about me.
But Grandma actually told me.
Or hoping for my demise.
No, Grandma actually told me at one point because she fell asleep, and I think at a certain point, Mom must have stopped texting her to not wake her up.
Sure.
And so she got caught up based on what was on Facebook. She's like, so that was actually nice. It's actually nice to be able to see that. How do I say it was probably then like I can't. Was it 1?
You told me at one point it was about 1 o'clock.
I think yeah. It was so late that the family house had called me to make sure I still wanted the room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, is it okay? I'm at the hospital waiting for the surgery to be done. Is it okay that I show up like whenever? She's like, yeah. You can check in whenever. We just wanted to make sure you still want the room. But they did let me come back to see you.
Okay.
Well, Cruz came out and talked to me after the surgery.
Yeah.
Told me everything went great. And told me it was a big liver. I don't know what that means. He said it was a good sized liver.
Going out or coming in?
Going out or coming in, the one you got.
Okay.
So if you feel more lopsided than usual,
I have been walking with a limp.
you've always walked with a limp.
No.
That's not new.
He was limping when he got here.
But so they let me come back and see you. Like you're still out of it, obviously, but and then so I finally, let me tell you, the best time to drive through Pittsburgh, through that part of Pittsburgh,
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Nice.
And the good thing was, so I stayed at the family house, which is kind of like a Ronald McDonald House type of thing. And so they have a shuttle service. So I don't have to worry about, they have on-site parking there that you can get. And the first night, because it was so late, they didn't have any open spaces in their parking lot. So, but they give you a voucher for free 24 hours in the Shady Side parking garage, which is like right down the block.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 a.m. I like bring all the stuff in the room, and well, I bring all my stuff in the room because I forgot yours. And I'm like walking down a block, like a city block.
Oh, geez. I didn't know this.
At like 2 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody out.
Lucky for them. Because after that day,
somebody
jumps out the muggy.
Probably really don't want to mess with me that day.
Behead them.
Yeah.
Right on the side of the street.
Yeah. But till I got, and then I used the shuttle the whole time, going back and forth.
Yeah. Because we were there Saturday. You stayed Sunday. You went home
Sunday. I stayed Monday too, because I wanted to stay until you were at least out of the ICU.
Yeah, and Monday they moved me down to.
Monday they moved you up to a regular floor, and then I came over Tuesday to see you, and then left from there Tuesday, because Tuesday was, because we still didn't know at that point when they were gonna.
It potentially could
discharge
be.
you?
It could be like 8, 10, 12 days from then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point they weren't. They thought it might be early, but they thought it might be like the weekend.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well,
I cut 3 days off that, by the way.
Yeah. So you were already to the point where you were tired of me just staring at you. So you sent me home.
Yeah. But no, that worked out. I remember waking up, being hungry, being upset that I was on liquid diet.
Yeah.
Because I was still hungry.
No, but it was really funny because you ate. You were so hungry. You ate things that you wouldn't normally eat.
No, it was horrible. But I was hungry.
It was like, what was it? I would think it was like a strawberry mango sorbet or something like that, and I wouldn't even eat that. I guess if you're hungry enough, you would eat that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of mango. You're not a fan of fruit.
No, not at all. But yeah, then they were ready to send me home first thing Thursday morning. It's just they couldn't get the logistics worked out till later.
Yeah, because it was waiting on the pharmacy to get all your pills together.
The length of that one, mostly of the time. Waiting on Thursday. But they were ready like earlier morning that I could go. Once everything was had finished. So,
I think the biggest holdup was, one, you had 2 drains in and they wanted to take one of them out.
Yeah.
And the other thing was the pharmacy.
Yeah.
We both get in trouble a lot because Rachel came with me to pick you up and nobody told her that there was drains.
Drains and tubes coming out of me. And that lasted for what, 3 weeks?
Well, yes.
Somewhere around there. Maybe a month. I don't think it was a month.
Say if it wasn't more than 3 weeks. It might have only been 2.
It may have only been 2. Yeah, that was annoying. I hated that thing.
Because
that was honestly the worst part of from my perspective, that was the worst part of the surgery was dealing with that bag, with the drains issue.
Yeah.
It's just a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, and it was funny because I think we both thought that I would be squeamish about that.
You did good
because
with it.
I am typically squeamish with medical-y stuff. But it was like, I don't know if I was just so used to everything that was like nothing.
Yeah. But a year later, here we go. It went from you were concerned when I'd make any noise to get up to last week's spring cleanup, but just here, grab these bags and carry them downstairs 3 flights of steps.
Nah, but I did constantly tell you to be careful.
Yeah. But that was the level of, there was no yelling. There was no don't do that. It was just do this, but do it carefully.
Because I think I've gotten to the point where you know your strength better than I do.
Yeah.
And me being okay with you doing things like that shows others that it's probably okay that you're doing it.
Yeah.
And then they don't worry about you overdoing it.
It's but no, it was a long stretch there.
Yeah.
Not feeling good and stuff.
I could have done without the hiccup the following Monday, but
the seizure.
Yeah, I could have done without that.
I don't remember any of this. I remember getting home, and then I remember Wednesday morning.
It was terrifying.
Yeah, you keep saying that, which I'm not saying for. I understand it was for you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from my perspective, it was just like I remember pulling in the garage, and then I remember waking up in the ICU down in Pittsburgh. No one's around. Finding my phone and texting you first.
Yeah.
And again, classic what I would be me is, good morning, dear. Where the hell am I?
Yeah.
It was just like...
But what's funny...
There was no panic, no nothing. I just remember like, oh, back to Pittsburgh. Huh. Okay. Better let Sarah know.
What's... A couple things that are funny about that whole thing was when we're at Somerset, and well, first off, when the EMTs come, well, Nick showed up first.
Yeah,
and
that's the interesting side effect of the career that I've chosen to do over all these years is that when you have that emergency, everyone who shows up are people I know.
Yeah, well, because if you're. I've gotten to the point where I can only find like kind of the amusing things of the whole thing.
Yeah, well, you can now looking back.
Right.
I'm here to do the show with you.
So Nick gets there first, and as soon as he gets there, because I'm like, you're like sideways in the passenger seat of my car in the garage.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like prop your head up so it doesn't like flop back over the center console.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I hear him running down the driveway, and as soon as he comes in, I don't even let him say anything. I'm like, open my back door and get his bag out to prop his head up. He follows orders good.
Yeah.
And then I think who else? So and then
Chris showed up from the because that's the only glancing memory I have of after the garage is coming to just enough to remember Nick and Chris standing over me. And it was just a flash and then it was gone.
And I think because Chris showed up before the ambulance too.
Probably over at Geistown.
Because he was, I think he must have been over at Geistown Station.
Yeah, over at Station 3.
Which is closer than the borough office. But Nick still got here first. But I think he knew the address as soon as the address was said on the radio. He knew. So those two got there first, and they were trying to kind of like maneuver as they were bringing the stretcher in for you. And I think that's because I got out of the way and was standing out of the way. So because like they're both
Because it's your car, it's the tractor. I'm kind of like in between your car and the tractor.
Yeah,
so it's,
yeah. So Nick works
It's
on.
nice and long, but it's not.
Yeah,
wide.
so like Nick got the tractor out. They got the tractor out of the way. They got the cart out of the way, so that they could get the stretcher in.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like standing out of the way. Well, I mean, I had also called your dad at that point. I'm like, he picked up and he's like, hello? Because like, I don't call people.
No, yeah, if you're calling.
And I'm like, I need you to come home right now.
Is that what you said?
Yes. I'm like, Matt had a seizure getting out of the car. I need you to come home right now. But so one of the amusing things was, we knew work for East Hills Ambulance.
Yeah.
And their new commander actually came down separately because he recognized the name as soon as it was said over it too. And he goes, they had you. This was before you had like started having the seizures in the ambulance.
Yeah.
He goes, your dad and I are standing there, and he goes to me. He's like, so I dropped the audit stuff off. I guess you're not going to get to it.
That's why, as much as I've hated the politics of dealing with the 911 stuff from the county, especially one of the moron commissioners,
Yeah.
working with those guys is great because
They have an interesting sense of humor.
It's my sense of morbid sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now every time I talk to them, they're like, how's your husband doing? But so and then when we're at Somerset sitting there in the room with you and the ER doctor comes in and he's like, so we're gonna send him to Pittsburgh. They like we're coordinated with Pittsburgh. They want you to, because I had already called the Jen and left a message. And so they were already aware that something was happening before anybody at Somerset was able even to reach out to them.
Yeah. Which is good.
And he's like, we're probably going to take him in a helicopter. He's like, that's not because like it's that dire of a situation. It's that just in case he has another seizure.
Yeah.
They
didn't want to be doing it on 22.
Well, no, a life flight crew is better.
There's levels of EMT
yeah,
stuff.
they're more capable of handling that type of trauma en route than EMTs in an ambulance. Because when they were taking you from here to Somerset, well, first, like Nick gets here and I'm like, they need to take him to Somerset. Yeah. You know why they need to take him to Somerset? They need to take him to Somerset.
Yeah, Conemaugh would kill me.
He's like, okay, I'll talk to them. I'll tell them. And when the EMTs come, I'm like, he needs to go to Somerset. He needs to go to Somerset. He can't go anywhere else. He needs to go to Somerset.
Don't take him to the death pit down in Conemaugh.
But so when you started having seizures in they stopped at the end of the street. And the commander was still there, went to see what was going on. And he comes back. He's like, and Nick came back too. And they're like, okay, they're taking him to Somerset. Don't try to keep up.
Yeah.
But so that was very terrifying. But you got your first helicopter ride.
Don't remember it.
I know, but it amuses the rest of us. But so they still had to wait for a bed to be available. So
I spent it like most of the day in Somerset.
Yeah, because
from what you've said,
it was like, I forget when we would have gotten back, like 1-ish
from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, thinking about it, maybe
because we also had to make a detour to Somerset.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
And
thinking back about it, honestly, we should have stopped it. Knowing what happened, I know I didn't feel right in Somerset.
I know you didn't too, because you kept complaining about your head hurting.
Yeah.
You thought that it was your glasses because we had just gotten new glasses. You thought it was your glasses because I guess you must have read somewhere that
it was
something with the pills and stuff like that could
mess with your eyes.
Mess with
Plus,
your eyesight.
it was progressives.
Yeah.
For reading.
Yeah.
and actually they've never taken to them, so we gotta get those fixed. But I should have thought about it. Well, I wasn't thinking right.
Well, yeah, thinking back, the things we could have done different because
I was getting ready to have a seizure.
Yeah,
I had plans for the day. Flopping around like.
Because all this is going on, and the cat, because he hated.
It's freaking out.
He hated the car. He hated being in a carrier. He was whining the whole time.
Yeah.
This is going on in the background, and I think I ended up. It was like 6 or something like that, and your dad's like, "Well, we know he's going to Pittsburgh. Why don't we? There's nothing we can do here. Why don't we go back to the house? You can get stuff packed up and head out."
Yeah.
So I think I got to Pittsburgh at like 8:30.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't have a bed available until like after. You didn't get there till like after midnight. Yeah.
The hardest part about that stint for me, oddly enough, was Tuesday night. They released me on Wednesday.
You sure?
No. I woke up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
They released me Friday.
Thursday.
Only spent a day? Maybe I only spent a day.
Well, because so Monday, so midnight.
No. I'm sorry. I am completely confusing the two times. The thing that upset me, or not, well, it upset me, I guess, because that's my mindset at this time, was the surgery ICU when they got me a bed upstairs. I was halfway through a movie on a channel that they didn't have in the new room when they took me upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
So I went from watching a movie to I ended up watching some stupid History Channel thing about like
because
flying saucers or something.
The week after
I
the
never
seizure,
got out of ICU.
They never,
They
they're
just
like
discharged me right from ICU.
Because I think they had a bed available, but they also had some that they were going to give you.
Yeah.
But they had someone that they knew was going to be there longer.
Yeah.
That also needed a bed, so they moved them up first, and then there just wasn't a bed available. But you came out of it with a new accessory.
My walker.
Yeah, that now just takes up space.
Yeah, it folds up pretty tight. And all that wasn't from the seizure. It was from hurting myself falling.
Yeah, on
the console of the car.
Yeah. But yeah, that was an interesting
But a year ago.
2 weeks. It's a rough 2 weeks. And in all this, so we get down there. That
little Mia's just doing her thing.
We get there. We get down to the ER the Saturday before the surgery, and I'm texting my bosses. I'm like, "So this is what's going on. I don't think I'm gonna be in on Monday." And Monday the 1st was our peer review at work.
Yeah.
And one of the audits that has been picked the last 2 times now is one that I am primarily the person who works on it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons I want to send you back there. I remember because
Yeah.
you could help a little bit with that instead of just sitting staring at me.
Yeah.
In the room waiting for.
Yeah. But it all worked
Nothing.
out. We passed, so it all worked out.
And I'm not dead.
And you're not dead.
It all worked out. So.
Let's not do that again.
Okay. I'll do my best.
You are, yeah.
Very little control over it, but
I know.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
Good.
But so, but it's hard to believe it's been a year already.
Well, it's like anything else. It seems like forever, but also very quick. Been a fast year.
Yeah.
Too, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. But no, I remember when Dr. Cruz came out to talk to me after the surgery, he's like, and he mentioned this a couple times during your follow-up appointments. He's like, he'll lose some more weight first, and then he'll start gaining it back and start gaining back muscle, and probably like by like 9 months, he'll be like back to 100%. That was before they realized that they didn't need to keep you the full 7 to 10 days and let you go in 4.
They literally, to prove my point, and I like telling the story, to prove my point I was well, I would try to sneak in while they were walking around doing their rounds.
Yeah.
Just to kind of mingle with the ground and see how long it took them to catch me walking around. Because I'm like, I'm healthy. I want to just let me do something. What do you need?
Yeah. But, yeah, I would say you were probably back to close to 100% before the 9 months.
Yeah. I didn't miss any work.
No.
I didn't teach in the summer.
Technically, yes, you did. Because I was going back and looking at my old text messages with Mom.
Okay.
And when you were in Pittsburgh back in October of 22, like you were...
No. I mean post-surgery.
Oh, post-surgery, no.
No. I mean, yeah, I know. I missed days and some chunks. Yeah, but even that first October, I was doing a big chunk of my classes from...
You were. No, the one text I saw in the conversation with my mom was that your dad was teaching a class for you.
Yeah, they did the one day. And
but that was the day that they had transported you.
Yes.
But
then I got everything set up, and then I started doing them online.
Yeah.
For the 9 days I was down there the first time around.
Yeah.
But no, I'm talking after surgery. Now, I didn't have a summer course, but I was good to go. When I think it, and you had the good point, is when I was beating myself up with that horrible headache and feeling crummy because of that stupid
the
breathing treatment stuff
yeah.
they were doing, and I took a day off in October.
Yeah.
And you're the one who pointed out, according to their calendar that they had laid out originally for us,
yeah,
that's about the time I should have gone back to work.
Yeah.
Post-surgery.
Yeah, because I think they...
And I'd already been teaching for 2 months.
When we went through the assessment, I want to say that they said like 6 months.
Yeah.
Until going back to work. Now, when they say that, do they mean like a manual labor job?
Well, it's all going to be... It's not just universal.
Because it's just being able to move and stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But looking at the pictures of me teaching outside at first in August last year, I'm spindly.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it was probably closer to like October, November until you stopped looking. Maybe even September until you stopped looking scrawny.
Yeah. We'll see. This needs to settle at some point. It still fluctuates here and there.
Yeah.
But all in all, good.
Turned out well.
So, yay or nay, today's movie. Before we actually talk about it, in case anyone wants to not get spoiled.
Well, before we do that, did you want to go through the worst case scenario list that we...
Oh, we can do that, yes.
Okay.
Because we could always just save the movie for next week, too.
No, we can... I mean,
we're hitting like 50 minutes already on the...
Well, we'll see. I don't know how long this will take.
Yeah. So this is the list that I helped you prepare. That this was the if I turn up dead list. This is what you got to do.
So this was... We're in the 45-minute drive to Pittsburgh.
So
after the call.
Right.
After the call, you're like, open up your notes and start taking notes. This is worst case scenario. So I think it was like the term was just over for everything. But you still needed to submit your grades for Ben Island.
Yeah. Which I did.
And so I was to contact the department chair. And you gave me a list of... Because we still had the UPJ internet contract. So I was supposed to talk to Rob Dillon about that. And talk to Kathleen. You gave me a list of bank accounts. a list of all of the billing things. Oh, this is the one that made me laugh because this project just now finally got completed.
Oh, is it the Buzz Wagner thing?
It says Air Force videos on external hard drive for Doug. And then you and your dad had built those 2 computers that
For
Christmas
for
prayer.
streaming. Yeah.
And you're like, give one to Dad, let him decide which one he wants, and then give the other one to Molly. And then the poor fish.
I had fish. Oh, that's right. I remembered. I had to teach you.
Figure out how to clean the tank was the note that I made to myself.
Because I thought I explained it to you riding in the car.
You did not explain to me. No, but you told me, figure out how to clean the tank or see if Rachel wants them. That was the backup plan. And that your Amazon history would have supplies to order.
Yeah.
You wanted to make sure that we were remind us to pick up that Steve was bringing the chicken.
Yeah.
From Fisher's. Apparently I was supposed to remind your dad to clean out the old stuff from the freezer. So the chicken would fit? I don't know.
I think it was a combination chicken fit and spring cleanup.
Oh, I bet it was that. But anyway. And yeah.
Yeah.
So not a long list, but it was just
It was basically, here, this is what needs done this week if I don't make it. After that week, what do I care? I'm not here. You're on your own.
Oh, and I was supposed to sell your Forester, which you don't even have anymore.
Because I sold it.
Because you did that all on your own 2 days later.
From the hospital bed. No, it was good.
Anyway,
We made through.
Then we can move on.
A lot of help from people, too.
Yeah. Mom and Dad bringing wood
Bringing wood.
to keep your
She put out
scrawniness
garbage that night?
cold. Yeah. Well, yeah, because we didn't know
When you'd be back? Or
when
not?
I'd be back. And
Well, we knew you weren't going to be back Monday.
yeah. She's like, what can I? So then it became, can I give between Mom and your dad? Can I give them little tasks? So
That do need done.
that
but also,
need done, but then they also won't bother me. And
you're trying not to have your own crisis.
yeah. And but yeah, so one of the I asked Mom if she could come clean the kitty litter. Or no, I didn't ask her to clean the kitty litter. I asked her if she could come pull the trash and just put it out in the can.
Yeah.
And then your dad could take it out. And so while they were here, she's like, "Do you want me to do the litter?" Oh, and I needed her to fill up the cat feeder.
Yeah, because
The
we just took
automatic
off
cat
Saturday
feeder.
morning.
And she's like, I just remember because she called me. She's like, so Friday's just like staring at me. I'm like, she's like, should I give her some of her food? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, she'll open the bowl for you if you wait. And she's like, what about the fish? And I'm like, nah, I looked it up. They'll be fine. She's like, oh, Dad already fed them. I'm like, okay, that works too. And then we always leave the oven light on. She couldn't help herself. She's like, I shut the oven light off.
Yeah.
The like overhead light on.
That was
off.
weird coming home with it off.
Yeah, she's like, I shut the overhead light off. I'm like, that's fine.
But it was a group effort.
Yeah.
And I'm very appreciative.
Yeah. So, but and I did have to. What was the other thing I had to have her do? Oh, because we had picked the cat up.
Yeah.
But he needed like fluid treatments and like special food and all that. And so I had called the vet before I left to go to Pittsburgh after the seizure. And I'm like, is there any chance that you guys could like, that I could bring him back for you guys to take care of him while I'm in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
And they hadn't got, it was like right around when they close. So they weren't going to find out until after they had closed if it was okay, like, because they needed to track down the doctor,
Yeah.
the vet, to see and stuff. So like it was like 7:30 or something like that, and they texted that Dr. Vince was like, yeah, it's okay, bring it, have him drop him off or whatever. So Mom had to drop him off.
She crate him?
Huh?
She put him in the crate and stuff?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She's like, you guys aren't kidding. He's noisy. He hated the crate. He
Yeah.
hated the car. He hated everything about not being at home.
No, he was fine there.
Oh yeah, he does love attention.
Yeah. It was just the process. Oddly
process.
enough, not unlike me.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't mind places.
Yeah.
I mind the process getting to places.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Okay, so we can talk about the movie now.
All right.
I'm gonna say,
Well, would you recommend it? And the movie that we went to today was Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
yes, with a disclaimer.
But that doesn't help people who just need a quick thing because they don't want to get spoiled.
No. If you have seen the Kingsman movies and liked them.
Yes. This didn't have that much of a flair to it. It was only a taste of that.
Yeah, but that's the best thing. Also, James Bond movies.
Yes.
If you like James Bond movies.
If those two genres mixed together.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you get.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I mean,
liked it.
I liked it.
I liked it.
But I have weird taste in movies,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so everything from this point onward we're just going to talk about the movie. So if you don't want to be spoiled, thanks for listening. And share the podcast. And
All that
download a
other
bunch of
fun
times.
stuff.
Okay. So I liked it a lot. I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was actually very different than what I was expecting based on the trailer. Because I thought it was going to be much more, like you were saying earlier, a little
Like
more
Kingsman?
Kingsman.
Yeah.
This was much more historic
Yeah.
feeling.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
curious
it's
to dig
based
in-
on a true story.
Yeah.
Ish.
I don't know. That's why I want to dig in more and see how.
Yeah. Can I tell you what my favorite part was?
Yes.
When Ian Fleming introduced himself as Ian Fleming.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you caught who that would have was.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
No, he wrote the James Bond. Ian
He
Fleming
did?
wrote James Bond movie books.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part because I enjoy weird things like that.
It was good. It was interesting. It was a different setting for a World War II movie.
It had a different flow than like your typical movie.
Okay.
Because it was like flashbacks, and then it was like almost like two simultaneous connecting storylines that ultimately merged at the end.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, did they have any flashbacks other than the piece at the beginning? So they start the movie with the fight.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that was the only
And
one.
then after the whole thing happens, his one buddy goes, what are we doing anyway? And that's the only flashback I really remember.
Maybe you're right.
But it's a nice way to start it because instead of building up slowly, you kind of have this nice
Yeah.
kind of fight set
Yeah.
piece at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then it does then do that slow build
Yeah.
to a couple more later down the road.
Yeah. No, I liked it. It was, I don't know. I keep trying to think of like, okay, well, what movie does it like kind of compare to? But it really doesn't compare to anything.
Mm-mm. No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not in World War II genre movies from like the 60s.
Even though that's when it's set.
No. I mean like the old like Tora, and that kind of set movie piece. It's also not as far anywhere close to as far out there crazy as like Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Either. So yeah, it's kind of.
I mean, and it was an interesting story too, and I would be curious how accurate or close to like actual history it was.
Yeah.
You know which movie it kind of reminds me of the most is the what was the Kingsman movie that was like kind of like the
third
origin story?
The third one, Kingsman.
Yeah.
That actually probably is the best. The best. It doesn't. It has pieces that you could see where you could take it so far over the top.
Yeah.
That it would become like the first two Kingsman movies that are just that are embrace that
are
kind
like
of
campy, like to the over the top to the point where they're campy a bit. But yeah. Because who was the actor that played the not Ian Fleming but the other guy?
M.
Yeah.
He's been something too. But it is fairly it does feel like that third Kingsman movie where they walk right up to that line of becoming goofy, but not doesn't go over it, I guess is the right way to put it.
Wait, hold on a second.
What?
That was Henry Cavill?
Yes. Yeah, that was Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look like him so much. I didn't think.
With the big beard, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow, you watched a 2-hour movie with him and you didn't know.
Sorry.
That is funny. It's based on the book that's out of print. I'm trying to see if I believe it's actually a documentary.
I also
book,
think maybe he's gained a little bit of weight and muscle. Less like, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know how to describe it. It's anyway.
No, but it was good. It was that kind of fun piece. Nice settings, looked good. Cast was good. More Churchill than I thought would be in it.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I saw when I saw the trailer, and that's my point is the trailer doesn't. It's a more serious movie than the trailer would let you think.
I would agree with that.
But not in a bad way.
Yeah. I liked it. I really
liked it too.
But I also like weird movies. Not that I think it was a weird movie, but like.
Now, like everything on the trailers that we saw, I don't think I saw anything there in the trailers that were like, oh, I want to see that. No. You know what? There was one that I thought to myself, I would watch on like Amazon Prime or Paramount Plus if it comes out, something like that. That would be that Stuntman movie.
Yeah. That's the only one that interested me on the trailers.
The other ones, there was some kind of horror movie.
There was that one I turned to you, I'm like, pass.
Yeah, that was that horror movie one. And then...
Okay, so the guy who played M... Oh, okay. That makes sense. He was Pierre Despereaux in Psych.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he looked familiar to me.
Yeah. No, it was well done. It was fun. Nice little 2-hour thing. Didn't feel like 2 hours,
Yeah.
but it was a good
I've never
it was
been
a solid 2 hours.
I've never been in that.
You mean the
theater.
fact that we walked to Adams Township to get to the movie theater? It was so far at the flank, at the far one.
Yeah, but it was
like, what, maybe 25 seats in it?
At most, but it was the nice seats.
Yep, they reclined. Automatic or mechanical recline.
And there was probably, like 5 other people in there.
Yeah.
It was very empty. But I don't know if there was other things that were out that...
Well, let's see what it's showing.
That would have been bigger hits.
Civil War, Abigail, Gorilla versus Kong, and then this is for last week, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Now, the thing about it is, it came in 4th with 8.9 million. First place only had 11. So it's nothing right now is doing.
Yeah. Plus, we go at lunchtime.
Yeah, we went at 12:40 in the afternoon.
Not a lot of people going to the movies at 12 o'clock, like 12:40 on a Friday.
Yeah, but no, I liked it. If you like that kind of, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like we wasted our time on that one.
No, I'd watch it again.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it on Apple when it comes out.
Yeah. I watch it because I feel like it's one of those movies too that the second time I watch it,
Pick up more stuff.
I'll pick up more stuff.
Like I kind of want to go back.
Because I'm guessing that there might be because it seems like it's that style of movie.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there are other like Easter eggs than just the Fleming and Fleming one.
Yeah, there's some stuff, and I'm sure some historical things are kind of interesting. I liked how they kind of then, it wasn't, and that's why I'm curious, and it kind of sucked me into wanting to, and I'm looking at it's out of print on Amazon, the book, because the book does seem to be more of a historical book.
Yeah.
But how they did the little vignettes at the end of the movie, actually showing the real people.
Yeah.
And their story and what happened and stuff to them.
Yeah.
I like that. It was good. And I guess the only thing left for us on the movie schedule to actually go to this year is Deadpool.
I mean, unless there's something else coming out that we aren't aware of.
I don't think there's anything else coming out.
What are you talking about? I mean, yeah, it's out of print, but you could buy it used for $40.
Oh, great. I don't understand how a book is out of... And I understand it's a licensing thing and whatever. But, like, in this day and age, like, Kindle's a thing.
Yeah. Well, but it says that the book was published in 2014. Kindle was still a thing. Kindle would have been a thing then, right?
Oh, Kindle was a long time. Yeah. So
there is a... So are you still on that page?
No, we aren't going to do you and I shop Amazon together on the podcast here.
Why not? Maybe other people want to buy it too.
But they don't have to. Yeah, we're going to let's all hold hands and look through the internet together. I liked it. It was fun. I'm glad you went with me. I'm thankful you went with me. That was always neat.
Yeah.
That poor girl at the she must have been new, trying to figure out the register and what to do and yeah. But no.
I think I threw you for a loop though when I asked for nachos and cheese.
No, that I can understand. What I didn't understand is why did it come as a kit?
I wonder if that's something that started during COVID.
And they just kept it.
And they just kept it because it's easier. They don't have to clean out a cheese dispenser.
Yeah, because it came as a tray, a plastic tray, a bag of nacho chips, and a sealed container. Looks like a yogurt container.
It was warm.
But it was it was the warmer there.
Yeah.
Full of nacho cheese.
Yeah. It's like the tray you get when you get nachos and cheese somewhere. That's the tray that they give you.
It's just that you had to fill it in yourself.
It's just that the chips are in a sealed bag and the cheese is in a sealed cup. It was good.
So.
I didn't have enough. There was More cheese than chips.
Could have had some of my popcorn and put it in your cheese.
That sounds gross. Oh, I was gonna say something. Yeah, so then we came home and I went for a walk to Rite Aid.
Yeah. On your ever continuing quest to
In my continuing quest to move.
move.
So.
Well.
And I'm gonna see if I can get a walk in before we leave tomorrow.
Okay.
Or if not, then someone will have to come on a walk with me because I don't know my way around Belfast.
How big can it be?
Not that big, but I also don't want to get lost.
But it's not that big. You can't get lost.
I mean, I would have my phone with me and GPS. So,
See?
I don't know. I might try and get it in before we go.
Okay.
Considering some people don't get up until 9 or 10. What?
Nothing. I've seen days where you don't get up till 9 or 10.
Well, yes, but that's after I've gotten up at 6:30 to feed the cats, and then 7:55 to put your pills together.
Well, I'm sorry we're such a burden.
It's been a long time since I've slept until like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I'm out of practice of sleeping in.
Tomorrow's the day.
We'll see.
This has been a production of Quantum Wave Media.